Remembering Steve Jobs, Nexus Prime specs leaked, and a look at Wolfram Alpha's latest update for iPad today on AppJudgment. This episode of AppJudgment is brought to you by GoDaddy.
Welcome to AppJudgment, your source for mobile application news and reviews. I'm David Prager.
And I am Jackie Talbot, and by now you've probably all heard the sad news about Steve Jobs' passing yesterday.
Very few times in my life have I ever, been around when someone of that iconoclasm has died, and it seemed like it was a moment where everyone stops what they're doing and reminisces and thinks about the impact that he had on their lives, and it's amazing that he had an impact on pretty much all of our lives. Android, iPhone, PC, Mac users alike.
Users and content creators. It's been a huge impact, and we were actually talking about our first Mac products, or Apple products, so to say. So what were you?
I was a PC user for the longest time.
Me too. I grew
switched.
up on PC.
Probably not even until about 2006, when a little bit after OS X came out, and I remember also switching my parents over to it because it was such an enhancement to the way that they live their lives from a computer perspective.
Absolutely.
And my dad still remembers the day that I switched him over, and in a way, teaching an old dog new tricks is something that you can really do because of the incredible usability of pretty much all of the products that Apple has put out.
Yeah.
So
me too. I had the first one. You said you had the black MacBook. I got mine in 05. I got the white one, but that was pretty much the first.
So I think a lot of us, have been even in awe of the fact that we could say that we were living at the same time as a person like Steve Jobs. And we asked several of our viewers to tell us a little bit about what they thought of Steve Jobs. This first one here is from Peter Schlosser, who says, I make a living using his products. He was an incredibly creative and visionary force.
Yeah, actually, Peter, hi Peter, he was one of the creators for the Gears of War 3 music, so he can absolutely vote for that. Peter Visima writes, I first sat in front of an Apple Mac II in 1988, and it changed my life forever. I was able to build a business upon that, and yes, I have been an Apple fanboy ever since.
And finally, we've got CJ Payne, who wrote in, I literally just became an Apple employee 6 days ago. This man redesigned how we use technology on a daily basis. I'm not looking forward to work today. Such a sad time. Yeah. There's no easy way to segue from sad news like this to relatively trivial hardware news, but Apple did just announce the iPhone 4S a couple days ago, and next week Samsung is expected to announce the new Nexus Prime in San Diego, and it looks like we have a sneak peek at the specs.
That is very true. We saw that it's going to be including a bunch of new exciting things like Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich, of course. It's going to be just only 9 millimeters thin. It's got the display is something that we're actually really excited about. It has the active Matrix OLED HD display, which is supposed to be
I'm interested to see it because on the iPhone the Retina display has been so amazing, so much so that they didn't even update the display. I don't even think they needed to. So I'm excited to see the new display in that. And of course, it's a 1.2 gigahertz A9 processor. It's got a gig of RAM, 32 gigabytes of built-in storage. A 5 megapixel versus an 8 megapixel camera.
And only 1.3 megapixels for the front camera.
But it still shoots 1080p HD video, and of course the network, it's LTE, HSPA, depending on the carrier. So it'll be interesting to see the speed comparisons between it and some of its notable competitors. And on the Wi-Fi side, it's got A, B, G, and N. I think any major phone is going to be able to support those. So it'll be interesting to see what the look and feel really is when people can get these in their hands.
Yeah. So next Tuesday they should be announcing it. So we'll hopefully be announcing that as well. So quickly running down some of this week's top app news. Microsoft releases an official Hotmail app in the Android market. An enhanced Google Docs experience on Android tablets. The addicting Flick Golf is now in the Android market, and Facebook for Android update fixes the refresh bug.
So say goodbye to punch cards. Perka is your new iOS and Android merchant loyalty system, that is, if it catches on. Socialcam 3.0 for iPhone adds live filters for that Instagram feel. And IndieCade's winner of Auteur award, Eliss, is now free in the App Store as a thank you to Steve Jobs. Infinity Blade 2, demoed at the Apple iPhone 4S announcement, comes to iOS December 1st. And finally, +1, a book while reading in the new Google Books update. Coming up next, I'll be taking a look at Wolfram Alpha's latest iPad update.
But first, a word from our sponsor. Get reliable, secure web hosting without the long-term contract. GoDaddy's hosting plans are bigger and better than ever with 99.99% uptime, free 24/7 support, and no annual commitment. And remember, you can download GoDaddy's free iPhone, Android, or BlackBerry app to order right from your phone, manage your current domains, and more. Check out revision3.com/GoDaddy for a list of all the amazing GoDaddy deals from Revision 3.
Today we're going to take a look at Wolfram Alpha's latest update for the iPad. The two major updates are when you search and find results, you can now share them easily on Facebook, and there's a new landscape keyboard that allows you to input a larger amount of search queries without having to open up new keyboards on the side. So if you don't already know what Wolfram Alpha is, in a way it's kind of a cross between Wikipedia and Google, but with a lot of scientific factual data. And what it is a huge database that allows you to crunch out answers to questions that it'll put together based on the queries that you put in. For example, if I want to search for the word mole, it's going to tell me that a mole is a mammalian creature, and it'll tell me the exact taxonomy and what it is and how long it's been in existence, and even what it might have evolved from. But it also is smart enough to know that maybe I don't care about the animal, maybe I was talking about a unit of measurement, so I can click on that across the top and immediately know that the number of molecules in a mole is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Another example search you could do is, say you want to know what the speed of sound is. Well, it'll tell you what the speed of sound is based on variables that you can continually change. It'll say that based on your atmospheric pressure, this is how fast it is, and then I could immediately have it tell me what it is in context to feet per second, meters per second, or any other manner of types of measurements I can compare and contrast it with. In addition to that, it lets you do all kinds of mathematical calculations and word definitions. I could see this as a very robotic type of system, but I can also ask this robot, what is the word love? And it'll come back and tell me with a very emotional response what the feelings and nature and history of the word love is, and all of the different contexts, some of them X-rated, that it might go into. With that said, let's go on to our pros and cons. So first here, it's extremely fast at parsing a very, very, very large database and coming up with the answers that you want to find based on all of that data. Next, you'll see that there's an example bar on the side that it makes the learning curve of using the application very small, because it shows you all the different subsets of types of topics that you can ask and gives you examples of searches within them, as well as showing popular searches for different types of answers that you might get. And thirdly, I think it's really notable to see that a computer kind of, knows what love is. So next, let's move on to our cons. First, although it's a huge database, it would be nice to have a certain amount of that stuff for some simple math problems and simple conversions available to do offline, but you can't. You can't use the app at all unless you're actually online. The next con, and I was struggling to find cons because quite frankly this is an amazing app, and that second con is that all of the information and all the types of query search results that you can get are available for free online, which makes you think, why would I get this app if all the information is for free? That said, I still say it is an absolute definite download, because the application and the way that it is used is actually extremely enhanced using an iPad or the iPhone app, and I think it's definite download. For $1.99, I'd be willing to pay substantially more for it, and I think this is going to get a lot bigger. Thanks for watching. I'm David Prager. Don't forget that you can find us on Twitter, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on YouTube, you can even send us email to appjudgment@revision3.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.